some things that I think you should know in theory by the time you're 30. Here we go. And guys, like I've said before for this segment, if you're over 30 and didn't know, it's okay. I'm learning some of these things right along with you. And also, this segment is not to be like, oh, all the old ways you know are wrong. No, this is just some different perspective. And, you know, we all grow up learning different things and learning things in different ways and so forth based on, you know, how you grew up, the culture you grew up in, you know, so forth and so on. Okay. So just full disclaimer. All right, here we go. Things I think in theory you should know by the time you're 30. This is going to be a more adult version of certain things. So first one up is Amazon. Okay, I saw this recently in a video and I was like, no, that's not a thing. Is that legal? Like, how can that be a thing? Well, I looked it up and sure enough, it was legit and I do not know how it's legal. So here we go. Amazon. Pay attention for anybody that has Amazon. Okay, Amazon apparently, if you have Amazon, including things like Amazon Prime, their company will sign you up for different trials of different sort of membership things, and then they just don't opt out after it expires. So then you start paying for things that you didn't know. Now, if you're like me and you're a very busy person and you have subscribe and save, and you'll see that stuff come out of your account, and so forth. Well, for me, here's why this got me. And I was so mad about it, okay? Because people will think, well, if you pay attention to your spending, yeah, but something can come up on your itemized bill that looks like something else. That's why your smart comment is not helpful. All right, so here we go. So what they'll do is they'll sign you up for a free trial, for example, say stars, okay? And once the free trial runs out, they don't cancel you. So then you end up paying for this and paying for it and paying for it every single month, and you have no idea. Because a lot of people thought, oh, well, the $9.99, that must be that product plus taxes that's in my subscribe and save, whatever. I know that's what I thought. So what you're going to do to find out if you're one of these people, which I did, and much to my surprise, I was, you are going to go into your Amazon account with Amazon.com. You're going to log in and click on the account option. When you go into your account, you're going to scroll all the way down until you see an option that says manage subscriptions. What's going to happen there is then you'll go into a different screen that's going to show you all your subscriptions, including Amazon Prime itself. Now, I did this and I found out that I was paying for stars for almost a year and had no idea. It was the same exact price as one of my subscribe and save items. So I legit thought, you know, for the last like 8 or however months, it was like just under a year. I literally thought that was one of my subscribe and save items. But, you know, when things get really difficult and you start adding up your pennies, you realize that 100 pennies is literally $1, and that stuff starts to add up quick. Okay, so $9.99 times 8. You know, you start doing the math, you're like, oh, wait, that's maybe a cell phone bill, or that's a gym membership, or so forth and so on. So then what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go into the Amazon Prime app, click on your subscriptions, and then you can opt to cancel. And then it's going to offer you 3 options: 1 to keep it, 1 to notify you right before it's about to come up again, or to cancel entirely and just finish out the month. I opted to cancel and just finish out the rest of that month. So yeah, sometimes some of these rules that you see are in fact actually helpful. So again, sign into your Amazon, click on account, scroll all the way down to manage subscriptions, click on that. You'll end up on your subscription page, scroll through all your subscriptions. If you ended up, some stuff does not seem right on there, it's probably because you did not sign up for it. Go ahead into your Amazon Prime app, click cancel, and boom, you're done. Next thing that I think in theory you should know by the time you're 30 is about debt collectors, okay? I did not know this until about 6 months to a year ago. And I was like, mind blown. Okay, I don't know how many of you know this, and I don't know how many of you guys have debt collectors call, but this one's for you regardless, okay? Debt collectors legally have to be licensed in the state in which they are trying to collect the debt. So say, for example, you live in Idaho, okay? And you have a debt collector calling you to cash in on debt that you owe. You can actually go onto their website and you can ask them for their legitimate website and find out if they are actually licensed for the state of Idaho to be collecting debt. If they are not, that is trying to collect money under false pretenses, which is fraud, which is a federal offense. Do your research, folks. All right, and the last one is about your browsing history. Here we go, which can be very, very scary depending on what kind of person you are. Apparently it is recommended that you actually use the browser Mozilla Firefox, because Firefox is actually backed by a nonprofit organization called the Mozilla Foundation, and they offer, not only are they backed by a nonprofit, so completely the opposite of Google, they have a built-in cookies privacy protection, so that, you know, people can't find your data while you're on the web and use that to target you. They also have a Facebook container, which basically, it's an add-on, but it basically prevents Facebook from being able to track you around the web. I didn't even know that Facebook could do that. Like, I thought, like, once you exit out of Facebook and you get rid of the app or whatever, you're not on it, that's that. But apparently there is a back end of Facebook that can literally track you and everything you do on the internet as you go from page to page and website to website, so forth and so on. But with Firefox, they can't do that as long as you put the add-on for that. It's called a Facebook container, basically. This is genius. I do not know how we're not being taught these things, but yeah. These are some things in theory that I think you should know by the time you're 30, and I thought that was the last one, but there's actually one more. With theft of mail and identities and everything going up, and people being more and more brazen because there's less and less consequences for these actions, we're seeing the highest amount of crimes that we have ever seen. And one of them not only is identity theft, but it's also people stealing your mail and your parcels, your packages, and so forth. So if you're in a high trafficked area where you're dealing with this, there's several things that you can actually do. There are actually mailbox alarms where they have like a code that you have to type in to be able to even get into your mailbox. I did not know this. I want one. There are also mailboxes that lock. That's kind of more common sense. I've seen those, but hey, some people haven't, so there you go. And you can also help avoid this theft by informing the USPS Postal Service that you can actually opt for their emails, which are informed deliveries. What that basically means is they send you an email about what's being delivered, so that way you can actually check to see if there's anything missing when you get your mail. I did not know that was a thing. I'm actually thinking of wanting to do that myself. It's called informed delivery, and it's all through email. I think they might have a text message option, but I think email might be better. And then also too, if you're going on vacation or what have you, you can actually have the post office hold your mail, so it's not piling up, just like an enticing little prize of identity theft just sitting on your doorstep. All right, everyone, those are the things that I think this week, at least in theory, you should know by the time you're 30. If you learned something new today, like I certainly did, definitely let me know in the comment section on my YouTube when I post different videos for things to know before 30.